Just like you have security in your home, like you have to have security in your, virtual life, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
All right.
Scammers are always working on these applications to make sure
Always.
they are having like backdoors to get into.
Yeah.
So if you can actually just put another level of protection on your password security, I think is actually going to go a longer way.
Hi everyone, my name is Anastasia and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, come on in, make yourself at home. Here we talk about everything. Today we're talking to an IT audit. And honestly, I don't know much about this career field, so I'm very excited to learn and share it with you. So come on in and let's have a conversation. All right, Patrick, welcome to the channel and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Anas.
How is everybody?
Everyone is doing.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, just a little bit.
Okay, so I'm Patrick Sapon. I'm actually from Ghana and I live in New Jersey.
How did you get into IT? And then kind of give us a brief summary of what an IT audit person do.
Okay, thank you. So I actually have a little, I'll say I have a background in computer science. I did a BSc computer science in the university. Before I actually got into Audit, I was actually a banker. Yeah, back in Ghana. So I was just basically doing all those financial transactions and all those things. So when I actually migrated to the US, that's when I actually heard of IT audits, because before I don't think it was something that was
right. It's not very popular. Yeah. I know there are like accountants and people that audits like money and stuff, but not IT.
Yeah. So it's basically the same concept. So the IT audits is basically around systems. We have what we call the IT auditors and we have the business auditors. So the business auditors are the people who actually audit the financial books and all those things. But when it comes to IT audit, we are actually auditing like systems. Every company has systems that they use to run their books. Yeah, so now you don't actually see people drawing ledgers and putting them in books. Now they do it on the computers and
digitalization.
Yes, so that is where we come in. So we have to audit those systems.
So you're now auditing the finance, but the system that manages the finance.
Yes. Yes. So we are actually auditing all those systems that are like reporting the financials. So we have like applications like SAP, Blackline. Companies use a whole lot of different applications. So we have to come in and audit these systems to make sure they are operating effectively. So when we say operating effectively, we are actually thinking about, let's say, if we are putting a number into a system, we are expecting it to come out. If it's a multiplication, we are expecting it to come out with the right figure. If it's an addition, it's supposed to come out with the right figure. So what we are doing is we are monitoring the system or evaluating the system and also reviewing the system to make sure it's actually producing
what is supposed
to. Because we have a concept that we call the garbage in, garbage out. So if you are putting garbage in, you're going to get garbage out. Yes. So we are just making sure from, let's say, policy perspective, the company is actually in compliance with the standards out there, because there are so many things that are being regulated around these companies. So let's say we have the HIPAA for the health sector. Yeah. And we also have PCI DSS. That's actually for the payment card, our credit cards and stuff. There are standards around that one. And we have the SOX. So SOX is actually Sarbanes-Oxley. So we have a SOC and a SOX. So one is with X and one is with C. So the X is a Sarbanes-Oxley. It was actually a law that was passed in the United States around the 2002 to actually make all financial, any company that is publicly traded on the stock market should actually perform the SOX and release their financials to the public.
So transparency.
Yes. So this SOX, when we are performing it, we have what we call the ITGCs. So those are the IT general controls. So these are like standard controls that we need to perform on all these financial reporting systems.
Oh.
Yes. So imagine if your company has like 20 financial reporting systems that they use, you have to perform SOX on all of them. Yeah.
So are you just auditing programs that work with finance, or like, other things as well?
Yeah. So when it comes to the SOX, the SOX is actually for mostly all the financial systems, and we have the ops, that's the operational audit. So let's say your company decides to bring in a software. One of the things that we have to do, we have something that we call the pre-implementation audits. So we have to audit that software to make sure and assess the kind of risk that is going to pose onto the company. Then after we have the risk-based like tierings for whatever is actually going to come out with the system, then the company can decide to see, okay, is it in our threshold to actually tolerate the risk, or we cannot? So maybe we have to look for something different. So we do all those risk analysis before like a system actually comes in and is like implemented. And we have something that we call the post-implementation. So after we've done the pre-implementation and the system is installed, we do the post-implementation to make sure whatever the system is supposed to do is actually in there to do it. Yes. So we have those kind of audits, and we have audits, the advisory audits. So recently I was on a project that we call the shadow IT audit. So these are like systems that are used in a company, but it's not managed by the IT department.
Oh, it's like a third party.
Yes. So like mostly these big softwares that a company uses, they actually going to go through procurement, and maybe IT is going to have a view of it. But let's say you have your company's laptop, and maybe you decide to download ChatGPT on it. The company doesn't actually know that you have ChatGPT on your computer, and this can actually pose a certain risk to the company's network, because you are like, maybe you are already having a VPN that allows you to authenticate into your system from home, and if anything affects your computer,
like
it
any
can actually
malware or virus,
get into their system. So those are what we call the shadow IT. So these are actually being managed. Sometimes even is a department who actually procures it, and IT doesn't know about it. We interview a whole lot of people around all the departments that we have, and we ask them like any systems that they are using that they actually like maybe procured or like got installed. They are using it in the department. Then we put a list of these systems together, and we actually presented it to management, the chief information security officer. Then they would actually think about, okay, since they are using this and it's beneficial to their department, then maybe we have to put this kind of security around it.
Just to prevent any accidents,
Yes.
quote unquote.
Yes.
I see. If you make a mistake, you can put your whole company at risk for something major.
Yeah. So especially with this, like audit is actually something that we actually perform. So they call the auditors like the third eye. So that's like the third eye of management, because management wouldn't know what is actually going on. So based on our assessments and our reports, that's where they actually get to know what is actually going on around. And sometimes if we don't actually do a good job, and we miss certain things, it could actually cost the company a lot. Especially the Sarbanes-Oxley that I was talking to you about. If we if we do not actually perform the right set of ITGC controls, and we miss anything and something happened, because this actually goes to the public, and it can it can cause a whole lot of things. It can have like financial misstatements, and you can even be jailed.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Because these audits, it goes to especially like the CFO, CEOs, and CIOs to actually sign on it,
to sign off
before
on
it goes out.
Yeah. So if they sign off on something, that a mistake that you made,
yes,
then
so it means that they are actually putting a false information out there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they didn't, and they can actually go to jail for that.
Yeah.
And if they are going,
You are going. Somebody's head had to roll. Okay.
Yes.
So how long is like a program or a school to become an IT audit?
So I know a couple of people actually taking some boot camps and all those things to actually get into audits. But I mean, one of the things that you have to do is you have to have a background knowledge in IT, because there are so many things that you'll be actually exposed to when you are in the network or like in your company. So like having this IT background makes it a bit easier. People will say, "Oh, you don't have to have any IT knowledge," but it's gonna be difficult for you to like thrive in, because now there are a whole lot of things, like things are changing. We have data privacy. We have a whole lot of like the frameworks that are like changing. There are so many things to it. So you have to be able to keep up, know what is actually happening around you, and you have to understand some of these terminologies.
Basics. It's like somebody coming in with like, I don't know, like an accountant background and say, "Oh, I want to become a nurse." Like it doesn't work like that. You have to have a background, at least some kind of medical knowledge before getting into the field.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So good. I want the good stuff now. Give us, like some kind of security measures that we can take in our daily lives, just being regular people. Because I'm sure you've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I actually want to talk about is trying to implement MFA. That's what we call the multi-factor authentication on
that's
our
a good one.
phones and our banking apps. Because normally when we are trying to like log into our banks,
I'm so guilty. I'm the one that my password is password. I get it.
Yes. So when because we see a lot of like vulnerabilities around like especially like third party softwares, like open softwares. So let's say your bank has an application and you download it. Everyone can actually just go and download that. And there are people who are always like scammers are always working on these applications to make sure they are having like backdoors to get into. So if you can actually just put another level of protection on your password security, I think is actually going to go a longer way. It's not 100%, but I mean, it's better than just one layer.
Using password as your password.
And always make sure like you change your password whenever, especially when you have like a system that comes with a default password. When you get it, try and change it, because those manufacturing passwords are out there. Anyone can actually get those passwords on the internet. And they can just get into your system and do a whole lot of things with it.
Like right now, everybody's life is online. Like we do everything, shopping, everything is online. So just as like we have security in our homes, I honestly, talking to you now, it's like clicking in my head. Just like you have security in your home, like you have to have security in your virtual life, I guess I would say. Yeah. All right. So give us like one of the craziest things you've seen whilst auditing.
I think one of the things that I've seen is I'll say deep provisioning of access. So when we say deep provisioning of access, it's like, let's say someone in your company leaves and this person has like access to the system. in a very like in a very secured IT environment, you should have like a procedure or a policy that tells you how to remove this access. But normally, I think some companies, they don't really pay much attention to it. So they actually leave
the people
the
still
people
in the
still in the
system.
system.
I've seen this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can actually assess, because let's say if I'm working with you and maybe you have a rival company and these people approach me and I go over there
Yeah, you can
and
tell
they
the
need,
secret.
yeah, I can actually
Yeah.
just get into the system and get information out. So I think deprovisioning of access is something that I actually saw in my audits, that I think is something that they need to like really pay more attention to. And also one would be like the vulnerability assessment. So this is um, mostly, I think, before my current job, most of the audits that I did, most of these companies didn't have like vulnerability management in place. So this vulnerability thing actually tells you like where there could be some issues around your
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
So you have like the security folks going in, scanning the network, and finding out if there's any loopholes that
Yeah.
someone can actually get in.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if like and sometimes everything is okay, but there could be like a security breach in one of your softwares that you're looking, like let's say Microsoft, and Microsoft will release a patch. They will fix the problem and they will release a patch. So that patch is supposed to come for you to update. I know you see those things a lot.
Yeah.
It tells you like update your,
Yeah.
yeah. Those are sometimes they are actually like hardening your system, or sometimes it's just a new feature that is being added. But most of these vulnerability scans will actually tell you, okay, hey, you need to like check this, check this. So I think those are some things that actually helps a lot.
A common thing that I see is, like at work, we have like a lot of group emails. So let's say they want to email like all the nurses. It would just be like there's a group email called nurses. So when you hit nurses, it goes to all the nurses. But when somebody leaves the company, they are still in the group.
Yeah, getting those
Yeah,
information.
so that's a
Yeah.
good point. Okay, so I always come back to family because we are family, channel. So how is working in your current field? How does that balance work and home?
I'll say I'm a bit lucky. I actually work remote, so I'm actually able to have that kind of flexibility to like help with the kids in the morning, take them to school, drop them off, and maybe come back and start work.
Yeah.
And I'm able to like get off a bit early to go pick the kids and come back. One of the things is with remote jobs is if you don't take care, you're going to be working all the time, because sometimes you think, oh, you have to finish something up, and you have to maybe stay
And since you're
overnight.
home, you don't
Yes,
feel like you're working, but you're
yes,
still working.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So sometimes I think we just have to also have like the work-life balance, so we can actually be able to like enjoy our families too. Because I mean, if you don't,
Yeah. What is all the hard work for?
you're
Yeah.
just gonna lose out. So
Yeah.
basically, I think remote jobs is something
Convenient.
that's very convenient when it comes to like family stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know what is happening now.
They're gonna send you all back.
Yeah. So I heard that there's been a recall of all remote workers
Yeah.
from the Fed side. So
Yeah.
I'm just hoping it's just something that, because it actually helps. It helps, and even there is data that is actually telling like these people, like the employees and the employers, that it's actually help productivity increase. Because people tend to work more than
when
they're
they're
actually
home.
because if I have to be at work at 9 a.m. I'll have to get to work, and after
you're
5
leaving.
I just leave.
Yeah.
But if you are working remotely, you can just
get up and
work. Sometimes you even stay overnight to just finish up stuff. But if I need to be at the office and work, these things, it's debatable, but I mean, there is data that actually shows that
is beneficial.
this actually benefits. Yeah.
All right. So in order to get into an IT auditing job, it's beneficial to have an IT background.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Will you recommend this career field for anybody out there that might be looking into switching careers, or even a younger person trying to decide what they want to do?
Yes, I think IT audit is actually very lucrative IT field. One, it pays well. Two, you actually get exposed, because during audits you are actually exposed to a whole lot of things in the company. There are certain things someone will even be doing in, like, maybe finance for 10 years. You could be in audit and you could actually be exposed to that in a few months. Everything that is coming on board, you are actually like getting information, because you need this kind of information to also help like protect and secure your company. So you are exposed, especially to like the higher ups. You are mostly sitting in meetings with these people, and I mean, it gives you that kind of exposure. And it's a field that actually helps you, like, when you are in these companies, you can actually move around, because you already, like, you would actually have a sense of whatever most of these departments are doing. So if you are tired of audit and you want to move into, like, let's say HR, you can actually just do that.
So it's kind of like the nursing field.
Yes.
If you're tired of like cardio, you can move to neurology. I see.
It gives you a very good exposure to your company. Yeah. And there are so many like different types of audits out there. Yeah. So they are even, sometimes they are hiring just specifically for SOX. They are hiring just specifically for
programs.
third party audits. So there are so many, like, so many fields in this department. So I would actually encourage anyone who's actually looking into getting into this field to, like, just pursue it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. Guys, I hope we have learned at least one thing. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.